The great love of my life I met in a bar. We met when I fell off my bar stool. She was already on the floor. One night that lady asked me to spank her. I asked her why. She said, I'm into discipline. So instead of spanking her, I made her go stand in the corner. Who's your grandpa? That was a difficult relationship. She had multiple personalities, and I'm bad with names. Like any drunk, I thought I could manage my drinking. I remember after one particularly rough weekend, on Monday I decided I would only drink after dark. Tuesday I bought curtains. In college, I wrote a paper entitled The History of Public Intoxication in the United States of America from Colonial Times to Early This Morning. I flunked out of college twice. First time because I was a drunk. Second time I was sober, but the shit was hard. I had a favorite drinking game. My favorite drinking game was called Leave Me the F*** Alone. Rules were real simple. All you needed was a pack of Marlboro Reds and a Jack Daniels on the rocks. Actually, that's all I needed. All you needed was to leave me the f*** alone. I love drinking during the holidays. I would get drunk and go trick-or-treating. Every holiday I would get drunk and go trick-or-treating, which made for an odd Arbor Day in my neighborhood. I would get drunk before the show. Not my show, Good Morning America. I was on what I call my military diet, Captain Morgan and Captain Crunch. I got arrested for drunk driving. Not only was I drunk, but I've been smoking hash. When I took the breathalyzer test, I inhaled, tried to pass it to the cop. YOLO. So I was arrested, pled guilty. For my community service, I left the community. My first Alcoholics Anonymous meeting did not go well. I mean, it's anonymous, right? I wore a ski mask.
All my friends are there too, especially my buddies. You know, we're all in that early 50s, and now all my buddies are, you know, going through a midwife crisis, and yeah, they're all out buying new wives, man. I'll keep my old wife, thank you very much. Yeah, got a couple of miles on her, but I don't have to take out a Carfax, I guarantee it. Telling you, I got a buddy of mine about to get married for the 5th time, y'all, the 5th time. That's not even the craziness of the story. His fiance is also getting married for the 5th time. I know, they were bragging at a party that they met online. I go, what site? Who'sleft.com? I got another buddy of mine about to get married again, y'all. July 4th. He's 51 years old, about to marry a woman turning 23. She gonna kill him. I know, I asked him one time, I go, dude, be honest with me, 23 years old, first time you took her home, did you try to fool around with her or just set her in front of the TV with a bowl of cereal? I go, dude, this is never gonna work out. You know nothing about the Power Rangers. imagine marrying somebody that young. I truly couldn't. First of all, I don't like what it's done to my own marriage. I really don't. Because now that my buddy's marrying somebody so young, my wife is like, is that what you want, Bill? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? I go, baby, I'm married. When have I ever got what I want? I'm telling you, man, I couldn't imagine marrying somebody that young. First of all, I got 3 kids older than 23. Second of all, I couldn't imagine taking off my shirt in front of somebody that young and have her look at me and go, There is so much hair. You look like my dad. My wife and I, we do know how to talk to each other. We know how to fight with each other. That takes a while to get used to. Fighting takes a long time because when you first start fighting as a young couple, you're just fighting to win. And we both knew how to win, too. My wife knew all she had to do was shed a tear, and boom, the fight was over, man. It was like Mike Tyson, ringing the bell, right hook, boom, Bill on the ground. I'd be confessing to stuff I couldn't have done. I'm like, I'm sorry I killed Kennedy and Lincoln, okay? Look at the young people like, why did he shoot a car? So, but we know how to fight. And I'm not bragging, ladies. As a matter of fact, I'm not even proud of this, but I knew how to win the fight. I knew exactly what to say to cut down my wife. And I'm not proud of it, but I was good at it. I mean, I've been telling jokes to strangers, so I was being heckled at home, and I'm pretty good at it, right? And she'd say something, and I'd hit her with one of them heckle lines, man, and tear her into her. One night we're fighting, and she gets a tear in her eye. She goes, you know what? I would rather you hit me than say the ugly, cruel things that you say in these fights. Turned out she was lying.
Now that I'm married, I'm constantly on guard because I'm a jealous woman. I'm not gonna lie, that's the biggest issue he has to deal with. I'm jealous, man. You would think it would chill out when I got married. If you talk to my husband a second too long. I'm like, I don't know what your game is with this flirty line of questioning, but I don't like it. I'll be taking over from now on. And yes, he will have fries. I see you. Oh, I see you. I see you. I see you. People get intrusive with their questions. They'll be like, oh my gosh, how tall is your husband? Husband height. What cologne does he wear? Scent of my husband. His favorite movies are Wedding Video. You can leave now. They don't tell you this, but when you get married to somebody, you marry the entire bibliography of their issues. And you marry their family who gave them those issues. Like his mom never made him clean up his clothes as a kid. Guess whose problem that is now? My husband will leave little piles of clothing on the floor as if he was raptured out of our apartment. I'm like, were you never beaten as a child for this? We were clearly raised differently. I noticed one time he had an argument with his mom in front of me, and I was shocked because I didn't realize you could argue with your parents. Like, Latinos live in fear of our parents well into our early hundreds. Right, like, I'm trying to argue. I love life. He saw how shocked I was. He was like, don't worry, I would never talk to you like that. And I was like, I don't suggest it. You're a sound sleeper. Why do I know this? When you get married, you gotta get used to somebody being in your space all the time. Like when I was single, I woke up alone a lot. Now every time I wake up, I'm like, ah! Oh, it's you. It's like 100 times in a row. And maybe you can get a hobby or something. It'll surprise me once in a while. Everybody wants to give you marriage advice when you get married. Some of it's helpful, most of it's trash. Because they don't know how your relationship works. But everybody wants to guide you. One of my girlfriends told me, if your husband acts up, just withhold sex. And I was like, what did I do? That punishment affects both of us. I don't like your methods. Don't go to sleep angry, that's another one. I go to sleep angry all the time. Because he falls asleep before me, and I'm just like... Oh, you got nothing to overthink right now? Okay. I had to get used to being responsible to another person, too. That was hard, man. When my husband asked me if I paid my credit card bill, I got to stop myself from being like, none of your business, bro. Because then I remember like, oh, yeah, it is his business. And no.